Hello everyone. Thank you for continuing to watch my channel. So welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to learn how to create a home lab for testing purposes. So there are like two tools that I'm talking about today, which are Type 2 hypervisors, which are VirtualBox from Oracle, and then VMware Workstation from VMware. So if, why should we use word in which condition I should we should be using Oracle VirtualBox, and in which condition we should be using VMware Workstation. I'm going to explain that today. So VirtualBox is basically having a small footprint, and when you running virtual machine in that, it is not going to take too much of the resources of your machine or your host machine, I would say. And then when you're utilizing and then in which condition you should be utilizing the VMware Workstation, because in certain scenarios, like if you are going to install the ESXi, then you cannot install that on the VirtualBox. So you need to have that on your VMware Workstation. So that's why we need to have two. So first of all, I'm going to show you that how you can create a virtual machine on VMware VirtualBox. So there we have the VMware VirtualBox, and then, sorry, Oracle VirtualBox. Sorry. So in that, there you can create a new, and then you need to specify the name of the virtual machine. Let's say I'm talking about server 2016, and then we can specify the location where the your virtual machine will be saved. So I can just mention that. So I've already created the VirtualBox, VM's location. There I have to create a new folder, and then it is basically Windows Server 2016. That's where I'm going to do that. So this is where it is going to save my configuration files and the disks for this virtual machine. Then I can go ahead and select the ISO image. So this is the Windows 2016 evaluation, ISO. It has already detected it. And then if I want to use the unattended installation, then I can do that. But here I'm going to skip that because I'm going to use the guided version. Next, here we can specify that what is the base memory that we are going to utilize. So this is the this machine is having 16 gig of memory, so that's what is showing there, 16,384. And then default it has picked up 2 gig, so I'm going to utilize 4096, which is 4 gig of memory. Then it has 8 vCPU. I'm going to use 2 vCPU here, so that's why I've mentioned this. Either you can use the slide bar or you can mention the number here, then hit next. Then how much disk you are going to allocate it. So in this case, I've allocated 200 gig, which means it is not going to utilize the entire 200 gig. If I want to do that, then I have to select this option, which is pre-allocate the full size. Okay. So this is like the concept of thin provisioning and thick provisioning in VMware. Okay. So I'll click next. And then if I click on finish, then the virtual machine is created, but it is in powered off state. If I want to go ahead and install that, then I have to click on start. So here, or right click here and click on start here, normal mode. Okay, then it will show me the console where we can continue the installation of the virtual machine or the operating system. So yeah, it is coming up, and this we can basically guide through the process, that how the installation is going to be. So since this is 2016 server, it is going to show you the next step. So I'll press next and then install now. Okay, and then it is going to show me that which version of the Windows Server 2016 I'm going to install. Either it is going to be the core or the full desktop experience. So I'm going to install the desktop experience, which is a GUI version, and this is going to be the data center evaluation. So hit next. Then the terms and conditions next, and then custom install, where we are specifying that if we want to create the partitions here, we can create that. If I want to continue with the 200 gig, I'll hit next. So now the installation will continue, and once it is done, it will basically restart this virtual machine and then get me to the login screen. So this is how we are going to create a virtual machine in the VirtualBox. Now we are going to learn how to create a virtual machine in the VMware Workstation. So let me just minimize this and let it run in the background. So I'm going to open the VMware Workstation here, so which is here. Okay. So Here we can create virtual machines in the VMware Workstation. So again, file, new virtual machine. Okay, this is the typical one I'm utilizing. Custom, I have to select a lot of other options which I would not want to use right now. So next, select the virtual machine ISO which I want to utilize right now. So I'm going to install Windows Server 2012 R2. So open, it has detected it. Next, and then whatever the display name that you want to give it to, then you can give it that. So I'm just using the default one. Browse, then it is asking you to where you want to save the files. So VMware Workstation, I'm going to create a new folder under this, which is Windows Server 2012. Okay, this is the folder where the virtual machine configuration files and everything will be saved, or the VHD or VMDK in this case. So, and then the size of the know disk that we are going to use. So next, and then finish. Okay. So as you can see here, in the virtual box, when you create a virtual machine, it stays in the powered off state. But when you create a virtual machine in the VMware Workstation, when you hit OK, then it is going to start the virtual machine and the installation process will start automatically. Then it is loading the files, and once the file is loaded, then it will basically prompt us the screen where we can start the process of installing. So yeah, give it a second. Okay, here you go. So click on next and then click on install now. So once that is done, okay, again, so as it says, it's a core version or it is server with the GUI. So as you can see, it was showing a different option when we were installing the operating system in the virtual box, but here it is showing that data center version with the GUI, or here it you see the core one. So a GUI, this is that we're going to select next. Then we need to look for the terms and conditions. I accept the license terms, hit next. Okay, and then custom install, select the disk next, and now it is going to install the operating system. So as I was saying, it's the same process, just a little bit different. So here we are basically installing two. We have created two virtual machines in different platforms. So in VirtualBox as well, and in the VMware Workstation, and these are both Windows servers. And we are not only allowed to install the Windows versions, we can install the non-Windows as well. So we can install the Linux as well, and we can install the ESXi as well. But that ESXi is only possible in the VMware Workstation. If you are trying to install that in the Oracle VirtualBox, then and if you're running with the Intel CPU, then you will not be allowed that because the nested virtualization is not enabled in the VMware VirtualBox. So I would recommend the VMware Workstation. So that's it in this video. We will be seeing and we will be working on these virtual machines in the upcoming videos, where we will be working on the virtual machines and then creating other virtual machines as well for the different flavors of the operating system. Thank you for watching.